Is that any kind of burden? You, as the guy who's been here the longest, is that any kind of burden to get off your back, so to speak?
I wouldn't say it's a burden. It's something that's a sense of urgency that you want to do when you have a chance to. And I've been to the playoffs 4 times, and this is took me 11 years to get one playoff win. But I tell you what, it's been worth it. Something about this team is very special, and we're just seizing the moment. I mean, it's a lot of high fives after the game. Not any hugs yet, so because we're saving that to the end.
I know that winning in the playoffs and advancing in the playoffs is always something you're working towards, even during the off season. But were there times, maybe during some down times, where you thought it just wasn't going to happen for you?
Say that again.
I know that winning in the playoffs is always something you're working for, all these years. But was there ever times where you thought, you know what, it's just not going to happen for me? That maybe I'm just destined not to win the playoff?
No, I never go into a season or off season with that mindset. That's why you sharp on the pads, because you have that confidence, that belief, knowing that hey, my team can win it all. And every year is an optimistic year, but this year I think we're just seizing the moment, doing the little things right. It's more of a reality this year.
So now you know what Tony Gonzalez finally felt like, huh?
Yeah, I mean that's a hard deal. Tony's one of the best tight ends to ever play the game, and he fell into that trap. But that doesn't take anything away from him. It's just unfortunate.
Derek, you've played against Brady a bunch of times, not last year, but so many times. With all the injuries they've had at wide receiver and offensive line, his numbers are just, they won another division, they're home. Has this maybe been his most impressive performance, what he's done this year under these circumstances?
He's pretty consistent each year, regardless if he has players doing it on the outside or inside. It goes through Brady.
Yeah.
He's the guy.
You've played Peyton Manning twice a year. You've played Rodgers this year. You've played Breeze and Ben. Just Brady the best?
He ranks up at the top for sure. And arguably he's probably the best. And he's playing at a high level once again. He's an older player, but at the same time, some people are you can play tight coverage, but he's still going to stick it in there. He's throwing players open, and that's hard for quarterbacks to do. And we're going to have tight coverages, but we're going to have to make a play at some point in the game.
Did you hear from any of the guys maybe who couldn't win a playoff game when they were here? Guys who maybe were there when you got there? Guys like Gonzalez or Brian Waters, Trent Green, any of those guys?
No. I mean, I played with those guys, so I mean, we were in it together. But no, I haven't talked to anybody. I mean, I was dealing with it myself. But I mean, it's one of those things where this is why you strap up the pass to win it all. And even though I got my first playoff win, it's more to be done.
Dealing with it yourself, you said. What does that mean? What were you?
Well, I mean, going into the off season, regretting certain stuff, or saying, man, I wish I could have done this, or I wish we would have won this game. And right now, I don't have that. I don't have that mindset right now because we're still in it.
Derek, when you sit and watch the tape on Brady, is he one of those guys that when you're watching it, sometimes you just stop and go, oh no, he just didn't do that?
Yeah, I mean, I was watching the play today. I don't know who they were playing, but one of the running backs had did a wheel route, perfect coverage by the linebacker, inside leverage, pushing him to the sideline, and he just threw him open. I mean, it was just perfect ball. So great coverage, even greater throw. So that's what we're gonna have to deal with on Saturday. But if you want to do anything great, you got to beat one of the great ones.
So it's more of a schematic thing, not necessarily a schematic thing, but it's more of an execution thing than it is play calling and how he reads the defenses a lot of times.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely execution. Now he's going to if you give him something, he's going to take it. He's not throwing tight coverages every time, but we have to be on our P's and Q's the whole game. I mean, we can't give him anything. When that happens, he's going to find an open guy, and the great ones like that, you have to make him work for it.
Do you expect Gillette Stadium to present any unique challenges?
Well, I mean, the stadium is going to be loud. I mean, it's going to be a hostile environment. I mean, they don't lose much up there. So we know that tradition-wise, and we're going into a pit fight, so we'll be ready, though.
Derek, is there anything you can take from 2014? I know that was back then. and really put it on them. Is there anything you can take from that game that maybe you can apply to this weekend?
You know, I mean, the confidence to knowing that we did beat the Patriots. I mean, but that was last year. I mean, I was sitting in the stands, and that was a great game. We were hitting on all cylinders. So hopefully, we can have some of that luck fold over to this year. But again, we're gonna have to do the little things right to give ourselves a chance to win. This gonna come down to the fourth quarter.
Derek, in your career, which now you're the grizzled veteran around here, how many personal foul calls have you had against you?
Maybe one, maybe two.
Do you remember what the occasion was?
Probably a hit to the head, maybe. I don't know. I mean, they wasn't calling it back then when I was hitting people in the head, so it's I got away with a lot of.
But you've had to change how you play, right?
Yeah, you have to adapt. I mean, you know, sometimes it's catered to the offense a little bit, but it's the game, and they want to play it as safe as possible. And as a defensive player, we understand that. So at times you got to make some tough choices in mid stride. So it's hard at times, but it can be done.
PJ, I know you've been asked this question since it seems like OTAs and training camp about your relationship with Mike DeVito, but was there anything extra special after the win that you guys came back, got that playoff win after everything you guys have been through?
You know what? We before the game, they had both our lockers together. Usually they're by defensive linemen, but this time somehow I got my I get paired lockers with Mike DeVito, and that's a special moment. Everything we've been through last year, just sitting in the stands, watching the team go through ups and downs, and we just couldn't wait to get back to help our team win. And after the game, we gave each other a big man hug. So.
No more, guys.
I know you've been here for a while, but looking back, what were your initial impressions of Andy Reid when he was hired and what he could bring to the franchise?
Well, Andy Reid's one of the best coaches ever. You know, his confidence and his standard of play bleeds through the whole team. And when he first got hired here, I mean, that was a good look. And everybody respects Andy. He's a proven coach in this league, and we were blessed to have him a few years ago.
Given the circumstances, I mean, the 214 season sort of off the stuff, like how does he manage to, I know this is a huge change in culture, but sort of like rebuild some things in that time?
Well, I mean, each year is different. You go through ups and downs on the field and off the field, and we definitely have been through that, being in this Chiefs organization. But we're tough-minded here, tough character, and it's coming out now. So.
Derek, you mentioned high fives but no hugs yet. Is that a veteran mentality that you guys are kind of going back to? So we haven't won anything yet. Is that what that is? Just the veterans together?
Yeah, definitely. We got a lot of leadership, veteran leadership on this team. So don't get me wrong, we are celebrating the playoff win. But the high fives are smiles and all that. But at the same time, we know the main mission.
Okay, guys.
Thank you.
Derek.
Thanks,
Cool.
Derek.